No Man's Sky still gets updated on a regular basis, and recently we received the Companions update. This update added more options when it comes to taming creatures in No Man's Sky, so you can now officially have pets to accompany you on your space travels. You can catch them in the wild or raise them from eggs. They come with different stats and even have tasks they will do for you. It's kind of like adding Pokemon to No Man's Sky. So let's go catch some of them because there is just way too many to catch them all. First up, the big change with taming is that we only need creature pellets now for most creatures. That's right, we no longer need specialty bait for taming creatures other than synthetic creatures. Synthetic creatures will still require ion batteries, but overall this makes things much simpler. Just toss out a creature pellet and let the creatures come and eat like normal. After eating, you need to interact with the target creature. First, you will have a menu option to tame the creature right away, along with options for harvesting a food product from the creature and riding it. So no special treatment, no long, drawn-out process, just hit tame. Once you have tamed the creature, you want to again interact with your creature because you may need to go ahead and show your new creature some affection. This will be clearly indicated by the 2 meters showing the creature's attitude and food levels. Starting from the top of the menu, you can show your new friend some affection, give it some food, ride on its back, customize its appearance, and induce an egg. Showing affection, feeding, and riding are straightforward enough, right? I mean, you pat them on the head, give them a little treat, and then turn them into a horse, basically. So let's talk more about the aspects of customization and eggs. With customization, you get to choose from a large selection of attachments to put along the creature's mount points. This will vary between creatures, but most common appears to be mounts on the left and right flanks. These are all cosmetic and do not add any special abilities to the creatures that I have been able to see so far. For example, adding mining lasers to the creature won't improve its ability to search for supplies. It will just add an animation of the lasers being used at times instead of the standard animation. Last option of the new companion menu is to induce an egg. This lets you pass on traits of the animal and hopefully get a better version with the next generation. But of course, it's not that simple. You have to make sure the creature is happy, well-fed, and in the correct type of environment for it to be willing to induce an egg. It takes 24 hours each time for a creature to produce a new egg. It then takes another 24 hours for the egg to become ready to hatch. And if you plan to create a second generation egg from a hatched creature, you have to wait a few days for that creature to mature enough to produce eggs. So if you want to get several interesting creatures fast, you need to just go out and tame them. But you cannot just go out and tame every creature you find. You have a limit on how many companions you can actively have. This limit starts at 2, but can be expanded up to 6 by purchasing new storage slots with Nanites. The extra slots will cost 500, 1,000, 5,000, and finally 10,000 Nanites to unlock all of them. If you are a bit short on Nanites, don't worry. I have some other videos aimed at getting a lot of Nanites fast, so be sure to check them out as well. Once you have more storage slots available, you can now take the opportunity to collect more than one of a certain creature so you can compare their stats. This way you can try and find the best option before you go into the drawn-out process of hatching eggs. But of course, you won't be able to get everything exactly as you might like through just catching them. This is where we go all Jurassic Park mode and use the egg sequencer on the anomaly to manipulate the eggs. You can actually use the sequencer to edit the genetics of your eggs even if they are marked ready to hatch, so you can do this at any point before actually hatching the egg. There are a lot of options here, but I'm going to give you the main ones I've encountered so far. For the growth hormone, you can use sodium, silver, and oxygen to increase the size, while ferrite dust, copper, and tritium will decrease it. The gene splitter is basically how much mutation you want to introduce for variation in the offspring. Using platinum or pugnium will overdose the creature to induce more variation. But if you like how the parent creature looked, you can just skip this slot. The die injector is a bit more complicated though. But to simplify, I have linked in the description a Reddit post detailing the various color combinations. Of course, like the gene splitter, you can leave this empty if you like the parent creature's appearance. Finally, we have the neural calibrator, which is where you will change a specific trait, such as helpfulness, passivity, aggression, and so on. This is the most complicated aspect, as certain items will increase helpfulness, for example. With so many items in the game, this is another case where Reddit has come through. You will find a second link in the description to a Reddit post detailing the effects of the various materials in the game. And after all that, and 24 hours have passed since the egg was produced, you can finally hatch it to see what you get. Pro tip: wait until the egg is ready to hatch before using the gene sequencer. This way, you can use a save point, allowing you to experiment with different combinations until you hatch the new creature you want. If you hatch one you don't like, just restore from your save point you created as you exited your ship on the anomaly and try again. Overall, this is a very interesting new element for No Man's Sky. To me, this is very much a Pokemon style aspect, with the fact you can play with their stats and not just appearances. You can also trade eggs with other players, just like trading in Pokemon games. But the best way to find some interesting creatures right now is definitely by checking out the NMS Coordinate Exchange subreddit. You will find plenty of posts there of the various creatures people are taming and sharing coordinates for. I only hope that we may get the option to purchase even more slots in the future for even more creatures in our collection. Now, leave a comment and share what type of creature you were hunting for or the most amazing creature you found so far. And be sure to check out my other No Man's Sky content and hit subscribe so you can keep up in the future.